Welcome to Lighting the Way Today, a place where we discuss how to connect God's Word with topics relevant to everyday life. We hope this conversation encourages, enlightens, and inspires you. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lighting the Way Today podcast. I'm Hunter Mullins.
And I'm Sierra Bergman.
Sierra, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here, wanting to work together with you on the introduction for this episode.
That's fantastic. For our listeners out there, I'm sure you might have noticed that each episode we usually have a different person doing the openings and closings. And in light of us moving into some more fun, lighthearted episodes, we decided that we were going to take a shot at doing some fun and lighthearted introductions and outroductions and however you want to say those things. Intros and outros, openings and closings. That's the phrase that I'm going to go with on this one. And I've got Sierra here with me, and that's what we're doing today. What do we have in store for our listeners, Sierra?
Today, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be interviewing two people who are a part of our ministry, Isaac Parker and Titus Witt. And these guys have come together and they have made a group called Eli and LTWT. For those of us who have maybe heard their music before, maybe at a Young Adult Rock or God's Word and Culture or other events that our ministry has put on, you probably heard of these guys before. So this episode is where we get into more about them and their music making process. We're actually going to listen to a couple of the songs that they have, and we're going to talk about a very exciting adventure that they're going to embark upon. They will be going out as ambassadors of the way, but we also know as Way Ambassador, where there will be moving God's word in a location that is in desperate need of God's love and God's attention. So it's going to be an exciting episode today.
Well, I can't wait to listen to it. So I think without further ado, and for our listeners, let's just go ahead and jump on into today's episode.
Welcome to Lighting the Way Today, Isaac and Titus. How's it going?
Hey there. Hey, it's going wonderful.
So for those who don't know you, can you let people know, what is the name your mom gave you, so to speak, and then what's your rap name and where are you from? So Isaac, let's start with you.
Sure. So I'm Isaac Parker, aka Eli. I'm from the West Coast, so I was born in California, grew up in Washington State, and lived there for most of my life with the family. So that's kind of where I started out. Got into the Word in Washington State, and moved around here and there since then. Yeah.
That's awesome. And Titus, can you tell people a little bit more about you?
Yeah, so I'm Titus Witt. I also grew up in the West Coast. Me and my family were in San Leandro, California, so the Bay Area. That's where we had a lot of our fellowships, and just really where I grew up, and just moved to Indiana not too long ago, about 4 years ago, with my parents. So that's where we've been residing, and I just graduated at Ball State University.
That's cool. What did you get your degree in?
Sport administration with a minor in business.
Nice.
So kind of looking to get into basketball coaching. I've been helping out with the men's basketball team over there for the past few years, and that's been really cool. Just kind of making an impact in that area, and just seeing how, God can work in different ways to, move his word in different avenues, not just through, teaching and things like that, similar to the music stuff, right? But also basketball is an avenue and a vehicle for me to do that.
That's really cool. I like that. All right. And I know you guys as Eli and LTWT. I heard you guys when we had a Christian young adult, festival a couple of years ago. It's known as the Young Adult Rock. And I was an MC. Hunter was actually there too. He was an MC for the event. And we had this one point in time where it was like an open mic sesh kind of a feel where musicians and artists from all over were able to step up to the mic and just share whatever it is that they wanted to share with the people that were there. And I remember you guys came up and did a rap song. It was called Bring It Back. And everybody was out of their seat. We were all like, what is happening right now? This is great. I love it. I want more of it. And so since then, of course, you guys have put together more music. Something I'm curious about is, how did you guys meet? Because I know, there's the California West Coast, connection, but how did you guys meet? How long have you been friends?
Yeah, so I think it all started back when we were just little babies. So our families have known each other our whole lives. And so me and Titus saw each other here and there at fellowships. And that's kind of how we met. But, I moved from California to Washington when I was young. So I maybe saw him once a year during fellowship. But it was during 2021 advanced class when we really reconnected. We came to really know each other at that point, because it was like we kind of knew of each other. We grew up with one another. We saw one another a lot. But then it was during that advanced class where we really had heart-to-heart time. So it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and we shared the hotel room together down in St. Mary's, Ohio. And yeah, just some nights, like, I remember some nights we would just be talking till like 2 a.m.
I know, yeah.
Just catching up.
Yeah.
But
That's when the
yeah.
brotherhood began.
Oh, most definitely. Absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah.
So with your late night talks to 2 o'clock in the morning, is that when you guys both realized that you like to rhyme? Or how did you guys come upon forming into a group?
I mean, yeah, we kind of had, like, both mentioned music. Like, this guy's always been musical. He's the big talent, man. But I think I really think at the time, me and some high school friends were just kind of getting done, like, doing some little silly raps. But I mean, Isaac's the real lyrical master over there, right?
No. I was rapping. I got into rap when I was in high school, and it was always on my mind. But it was something about just the vibe when we were sharing the hotel room. It just came to be. Like, there was no specific moment where we're like, "Do you like to rap?" No, it just happened so naturally.
Yeah, I really don't remember, like, what exactly happened, but I just remember us starting to write Bring It Back in the hotel room. And I think we might have just put, like, a beat on that beat that Bring It Back is. And
Yeah.
we're just like, oh man, this would be cool to, like, freestyle or just, like, make a song to, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he started writing on his little notepad. I was writing on my phone. And then what was it, a day after, 2 days after, we had some people in the advanced class come to our hotel room, and we're like, so writing a song. They're like, yeah, let's hear it, man, let's hear it. And then yeah, it was actually really cool. Kind of just everybody, like, having their phones, like, oh my gosh, okay, Isaac, okay. But yeah, it was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of how things really started with that. I don't know exactly what sparked it, but I mean, I guess you just sleeping in the same hotel room together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So your names I've always thought are really cool, Eli and Suave T. I've always thought those are like some pretty cool rap names. So where did you guys choose those names from?
So Eli is actually just my middle name, but I think middle names are so misrepresented. Wow, but I don't know. I always liked my middle name a lot. This is it's just Eli, 3 letters, and I think I kind of look at it as an acronym as well. To everything lies inside. So like everything is an inside job. It all starts there. So I always thought that was really cool, and I just kind of stuck with it.
And then as far as Suave T, Suave wasn't always in my vocabulary, but we had a dear family friend, and Miss Linda, she would always call me Suave. She's like, "Oh, you're so suave." So that I don't know what made me decide like to add the T at the end, but there's like a song that I had made a while back. I was like, "Suave T, yeah, that's me." Um,
It's not because your
just
first
kinda,
name is Titus and starts with a T.
yeah, the T, yeah. The T comes from time, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, that explains it.
but yeah, so Suave T put those together.
Oh, I love it. So then that kind of takes me to my next thing. So, how were you able to, or what was it that inspired you to combine the relationship that you have with God? Because both of you mentioned, going to Bible fellowships when you were younger, but also, listening to a lot of music when you were younger. So, what inspired you to combine the two together?
So for me, when I got into rapping in high school, I would talk about, who knows what. That was kind of when I wasn't in fellowship with God, so to speak. I wasn't regularly attending fellowship, but I would always not know what to write about. I'd always feel like there's so much going on in the world. Let me just talk about how crazy the world is, and that's kind of I would always be rapping about, just random stuff like that. And then it was when I really started to wonder about God and know God. Then I was like, this is what I rap about. This is what I need to rap about. This is literally what I've been looking for, because I've never had a good topic, never a good subject. Yeah, that's how I came to connect the spiritual side with this hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at this verse, Luke 6:45, and it says, "A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good." And then later down on the verse, it says, "For of the abundance of his heart, his mouth speaketh." Right. So
Hmm.
what we're putting on in our hearts and our minds, that's really what comes out. And honestly, like when I was listening to the Bob Stanley podcast that you guys had not too long ago, right? He's, talking about putting the word on and literally just reading the word, and that helps, right? Just having your fellowship with God, those things have been able to help. I'm sure Isaac as well. I'm sure I could speak for the both of us, right?
Definitely,
Just
yeah.
being able to know what to write, right? We have, these different types of songs, and those topics come from what's on our hearts and what's on our minds, what we've been reading or what we have read. Because, a lot of us believers, we know a lot of the word, right? We know a lot more than we might even think sometimes. So even when if I'm in kind of a writing process, I might think, oh man, this is a cool verse. And then I'm like, well, I could kind of formulate it into this kind of like rhyme scheme, and it kind of goes with the topic and everything like that. But that's definitely been a verse that I've thought about. So I've noticed that when I put more word on, then I kind of have more to write about. And when I don't, it's the exact same thing, right? Like sometimes when I'm kind of in that rut, like I haven't really been reading the word all that much, or something of that sort, and I'm like, I need to read the word again, and I might have something else to kind of write about. But yeah, no, Isaac said it perfectly.
That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. I think it's actually you guys brought some of your songs with you that we could listen to today. I think
Oh yeah.
maybe we can go ahead and listen to one of them that I know I really like. I love Bring It Back, and we'll get to that one. Don't get me wrong, we'll get to that one. But there's this one song that you guys have called Grow. And that one I've heard a couple of times, and I just love the cadence of it. I love the words in it. I think that'll probably be a good song for people to listen to. But I'm curious, before we start listening to it, how did you guys come up with this song?
Well, I know Isaac found the beat, right?
Yeah.
And then started writing to it.
Yeah, that's kind of our process. We scour the internet for just a good sounding beat that we can just imagine, us rapping on it. And so we don't make our own beats yet. We just get them off YouTube. So that was really how we start. We just find the beat and then just kind of listen to it and let it flow in your mind. And it's really grow, just the topic of growing. That just is what came to be.
A lot of the times it's like, okay, we kind of figure out a topic. I know Isaac gets a lot of melodies. Like once you kind of hear a melody, start playing off of that, and then it's like, okay, it's kind of cool. Get a topic, then you can start writing off that topic. And a lot of the times when I hear him, he'll like come up with something. He'll send it to me. I already know what to write about, and I could just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh, thank you, Isaac. Sometimes it's just like whatever is
vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. So just came to be. God.
Well, then with that, let's take a listen to Grow.
Yeah. I'm working on myself right now. Just need to get these things figured out, yeah. Cause I just wanna get it all down. And I just wanna make my heavenly Father proud. I just wanna know, right now. My God, so I go. Yeah, go. Do His word, cause it's so great. And I just wanna know. Yeah, I just wanna know. Yeah, I do. My God, so I go. So I go. Do His word, cause it's so great. Yeah, I just wanna grow. The word's sown in my heart. Time is now to start. Cause the world wanna break you apart. So I swerve and get away from the dark. Cause it hurts when he hurls them darts. So I merge with people with heart. Get that verse at the front of my thoughts. And I learn when I stay so sharp. Yeah, that's how I bring it back to the word. Never gonna lack when I serve. Hitting with a boom bap. There's a rap never going back to the way we acted. Cause that was a for the fact of living with the impact of a book of acts. I'm sitting with a pen and pad. Thinking that this how I give back. Yeah, cause it's a rap and never going back to the place I was at when I was living in debt to the world and the adversary keeping me trapped in a place that I had no escape. Thought I would never be saved and never forgave and never gonna see the light of day when I was in pain. Something on my brain going insane, nothing was ever the same. So I went to Him to pray every day, then I broke out. Yeah, God made a way through the smoke clouds and all the mirrors just point down. It's so much clearer when you know how. There's only two ways you can go now. Yeah, but I seen the light, so nothing else ever gonna seem right. But I keep in sight everything that I need in life. That's God, His word, and the body of Christ. I just wanna know.
Yeah, I do.
My God, so I go.
Where I go,
Do His word, cause it's so
it's so great.
And I just wanna know.
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanna know.
Yeah, I do.
My God, so I go.
So I go.
Do His word, cause it's so
It's so great.
Yeah, I just wanna grow.
Hey, I'm going to the word, reading chapter and verse. I'm driving in this lane of life, so I never reverse. Cause my God, He's guiding my path for me to merge. I just learned about the creator of the heavens and earth. He's teaching me about my purpose and worth. So I trust every word, and I know He's never bluffing. So there's no time for huffing and puffing when I'm reading about that agape loving. And trust me, there's nothing like this. No, it's nothing not. so pure and full of bliss. So I never dismiss the long list of His promises. Yeah, cause I just wanna grow. Yes, I do. And I just wanna know I do. the word of God, cause it's healthy for my soul. So I'm seeking Him, needing Him, reading up on His word. I said I'm seeking Him, needing Him while I'm living on earth. I keep on asking Him for knowledge on how best to serve and to swerve around those fiery darts. Cause my God, He's way smarter than smart. He's helping me shine the light all up on the dark. I'm climbing up these spiritual charts. I'm pressing toward the mark, yeah. So I'm asking my God, can you show me the answers? Can you show me the way? Keep on guiding my path in this spiritual maze. Can you pass the baton while I'm running this race? I keep on reading your word and giving you praise because
I just wanna know.
yeah, I do.
My God, so I go.
Where I go,
Do His word, cause it's so
it's so great.
And I just wanna know.
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanna know.
Yeah, I do.
My God, so I go.
So I go.
Do His word, cause it's so
It's so great.
Yeah, I just wanna grow.
All right. All
Nice.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Gotta grow, man. It's a beautiful thing. I love hearing the journey that you guys go on with that song. It's a beautiful thing. So here's what I want to do. I want to also listen to Bring It Back, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
So people can hear that song that we've been talking about. I have a couple of questions for you when the song's over, but let's go ahead and listen to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, back to back. Let's do it.
Yeah. Bring it back to the word. Bring it back to the word. Bring it back to the word. Bring it back. Yeah. Okay.
Bring it back to the word. Believe in his action, we act like a verb. It'll switch your life, put it back in reverse. When you get off track, think about another verse. So I keep my mind on God, cause he gave me the nod to discern good and bad. Cast it out like a rod, bring it back to the word. I'ma stay on the top, and you already know that it's never gonna stop.
Yeah, it's never gonna stop.
I got that peace and I got that love, and I got my mind on things up above, so I don't lack. I'm reading all the word, and you know that. Got Holy Spirit in me, that's a real fact. And I'm on track to get stacks, not racks on racks, but he turned the rewards and he promised me that. And he got my back, so I gotta bring it back. Yeah, to the word, and I won't stop now. I live for my God and I'm making him proud. A student of the word, got my cap and my gown. Yeah, so I gotta keep on living, gotta speak it in existence, and I shine so bright you can see it from a distance. God's word is my business. Yeah, to the word. Bring it back. Yeah, to the word. Bring it back. Yeah, to the word. Yeah, I said bring it back, bringing it back to the word. Yeah.
Bring it back to the word. Anytime you act, bring it back to a verse. It's like that when you work. As a man of God, we ambassadors. For Jesus Christ to feel right. Living my life, but trying to spread the light. I got God and Christ in me, and I'm righteous. Despite all the world's devices, I just stay on track. I got the word on my mind and the world to my back. I attach myself to actual help and actually filled a lot better. Now I'm passion filled. I passed up hell cause that's death. Now I'm seated up in the heavenlies with God's best. And I got no stress. God don't test me and I feel blessed, and I'm off the fence. Yeah, cause I've been convinced. Yeah, and I know that this is the only way to live. Yeah, and I'm off the fence. Yeah, cause I've been convinced. Yeah, and I know that this is the only way to live. Yeah, so I don't go back to the old me. When I was being attacked, cause it showed me everything that I lacked, it was on me. Trying to live my own path, it was lonely. Now I see life, living it abundantly. It's wonderful, you see. Got away from redundancy, it's under me. Cause God lifted me up, gifted Holy Spirit, God filled me up with his love. That's that gift up from above, just like a dove. And we can't corrupt, we never lack, we are conquerors. So let's give back to the God we trust, cause he's got our backs and we got his love. I said let's give back to the God we trust, cause he's got our backs and we got his love. Yeah,
Bring it back. Yeah, to the word. Okay.
bring it back. Yeah, to the word.
Okay.
Bring it back. Yeah, to the word. We bring it back.
Bring it back. Bringing it back to the word.
All right. So I want to talk to you guys about both of those songs. I know something that I think you had mentioned, Titus, was there was kind of this coincidence about what you were writing in Grow and what Isaac was writing in Grow. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. For Grow, it's not like, okay, me and Isaac live in totally different places, right? So it's hard to like collaborate, like writing wise and just honestly in general. But we make it work. And God really does so much work. And I was talking about how we both wrote about, our lanes in life and merging into the right lane, God showing us the right path, yada, yada, yada. Like, and that was totally coincidental and God inspired, because I didn't know that he wrote that, as I hadn't heard his verse before I wrote mine. And I don't think he had heard my verse before I wrote mine. So literally all just kind of happened. So when I did first hear his verse, I was in my car and I was like, oh my gosh, how did he know? I was talking about merging.
We both had the car analogies.
Yeah, just driving in this land of life. But yeah, I mean, the meaning behind that, and like kind of the bigger idea with that is just, one of my favorite verses is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, and just the path that God is able to provide. God is great, and he's always showing us the right way to go, right? Whether or not we choose that right way, and even when we don't, God's still with us, right? That's just something I was really blessed about when we were writing that.
I think that part is cool. What I love about the type of rap that you guys do, both mentioning that you appreciate lyrical rap, are the lyrics, the verses, the words that you choose to use. They're so word centered, and there's so much meaning to what you have to say. One line might sound like, oh, that's cool, and it rhymes with the next one, but there's so much depth to the lyrics that you guys put together. Specifically with the song Bring It Back, are there any lyrics from that song that mean the most to you? I ask that because for me personally, when I hear that song, there's so many one-liners, there's so many concepts that you put together in terms of what the word refers to as renewing your mind, putting the word on, acting according to it, which is something that we have to do every day of our lives. So much of the words in that rap mean a lot to me. But what lyrics from that rap mean the most to you?
I think in my verse, when I say, I got God and Christ in me and I'm righteous, despite all the world's devices, I got the word on my mind and the world to my back. That's, I've got a lot to unload there, but it's the first part, I got God and Christ in me and I'm righteous. It's just like a statement, like a reminder, really, to myself and, to the listeners, that is your reality. You have God and Christ in you, and we're righteous. We can stand in the presence of God and have no consciousness of sin or condemnation, despite all the world's devices, the way society is, the influences in the world. And that's why I say I got the word on my mind and the world to my back. It's not that I'm turning my back on the world, but turning my back on the world's way of living.
What about you, Titus?
Yeah, in my verse, I got like stacks on stacks, not racks on racks, but eternal rewards, and he promised you that. And then, like stacks on stacks is like, like usually like referred to in a lot of rap songs as like money, you got stacks on stacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say like it's kind of like what Isaac is talking about, the world's way compared to the word's way, right? And it's what is our true treasure, right? The money, the wealth, the worldly views on wealth, compared to the eternal rewards that God promises us and the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I'm referring to, but that's just, and again, like what Isaac is talking about, the reminder not only to the listener, because they listen to everything and they're hearing what we're saying, but the reminder to ourselves is really awesome, because like we mentioned before, right, out of the abundance of our heart, and this is a good way for us to stay on a good track, right, and just to bring things back to the word as well. I mean, I listen to Isaac spitting bars all the time. No, but really, like it's a great reminder for us to stay on the word.
That's cool. That's cool. So I know that people have been waiting to hear some new music from you. Of course, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, your first time hearing about Eli and Suave T, even you might have heard the first two songs and you're like, come on, man, I want some more. Where can I get some more? But from what I understand, you guys have a new song that you're ready to release. It's called Blessed, which I think is so cool. So we have it. We're ready to listen to it. And then after we do, I have a couple of questions for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah, peace of mind, give me rest. Sound mind, no stress. Far as east is from the west, God always keeps me blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed.
I know for me he wants best, not putting me through tests. No thought for what's next. God always keeps me blessed. Yeah,
I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed. Blessed, I'm blessed. Get only the best and nevertheless. All of my stress, I give it to God, he put it to rest. I gotta confess, all of the positive, there ain't no stopping it. All of these blessings I keep on depositing, they keep on pouring in, so I keep storing it. That's blessings on blessings, ain't enough room to even receive. I just believe in G-O-D, my sufficiency. It's all God, he keep on blessing me. He keep on blessing me, I said he keep on blessing me. I said that's blessings, that's presence on presence. He give me what I need, so I practice his presence. This life, it got its lessons, but I've already been saved. I said that in the past tense, my past already paid. Exceeding abundantly above all I could ask or think. I'm pouring out agape love like I just spilled a drink. So I keep on thanking God for all he's done for me. He's keeping my life real blessed, more than abundantly. Yeah, peace of mind, give me rest. Sound mind, no stress. Far as east is from the west, God always keeps me blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed.
I know for me he wants best, not putting me through tests. No thought for what's next. God always keeps me blessed. Yeah,
I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed.
We blessed when we go to God, it never ends. So listen friends, put trust in him, cause he never gonna change the world to keep you in the same place with the same fate, being chained up, not claiming what God made and gave. Such a shame, but I know the way, so follow me to find him. He brings light to those who blinded, and his word is perfect riding, only when it's rightly divided. So I've been filling my mind up with God's reminders and promises of how he designed us to keep his word, and with his guidance we can light this world. I'm blessed, I'm gonna find where to invest in my life so I can be my best. Take a leap and then see what's next. That doesn't mean that I need to be stressed, and I see that. And you gotta take life for the feedback, cause we need that. When you speak facts, it's like a breath of fresh air, call it CPAP. And I needed that, but I found that anywhere where love abounds, gonna have impact and bring accounts of God blessing you here and now. Yeah, that's God blessing you here and now. I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed. I know for me he wants best, not putting me through tests. No thought for what's next. God always keeps me blessed, yeah.
All right, well, I see why that's your favorite song of all three. I love it. It's like a rap of praise. You know, there's different psalms that I will read, and some of them talk about the hard things that the psalmist has gone through and how God has got him out. But some of the psalms are just psalms of praise, you know, just praising God for who he is and for his goodness. And that's what blessed reminds me of. It makes me think of the verse, in everything give thanks. You know, there's always something that you have to be thankful for. But I'm curious to hear from your perspective, you know, that's what I take away when I walk away from that song. But from your perspective, what do you want your listeners to walk away with after they hear the song Blessed?
I think for me, it would be that, you know, no matter what life throws at you, we look to God for our sufficiency, our peace, our joy, and we stay blessed because we do that. You know, when we do that, we stay blessed. We'll always be blessed. We'll always have our sufficiency when we look to God first and foremost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a feel good one for sure. But I think of Philippians 4:6. You know, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. All the way down to 8, and the peace of God, which passes passeth all understanding shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And in verse 8, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. And literally what Isaac was touching on, right? Like, we're able to just think about the wonderful things that, God's done for us, no matter the circumstance, right? There's another verse that talks about how, in everything we can give thanks. So in any situation, right, there's always something that we can be thankful for. And it's just a really cool little song, I'm blessed. Yeah. I really love it. I really do.
It's the perfect song to play whether you're having a good day or a bad day. Put that on, like you said, it's feel good. With that, you have this feel good song, but we do face pressures in life. Life isn't always peaches and cream. There are challenges that will come up. So something that I would like to ask you guys, especially since you are, young Christians living today, you're, young men who are facing the things that are going on in the world. What would you say is some of the most pressing issues that young Christians are facing today? And then how do you think the music that you're putting together can address some of people's concerns?
Yeah, I mean, pressing issues are, we're at the God's Word and Culture conference, right? And they go over like all of these topics. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is just having the conversation. And I think that's something that the way ministry has been doing really good, especially recently, is just having the conversations that, are maybe a gray area or just something that people are kind of scared to talk about. But avoiding it doesn't solve the issue, and avoiding it doesn't help, especially young believers, young just people in general, right? Being able to know what is right and wrong is awesome. So something that I really admire about Isaac is his way that he can express what he's gone through music and his lyricism. Like if you listen to his verse and Bring It Back, right, he talks about how he prayed until he was able to break out from smoke and mirrors. He was lost or whatever the case may be, right? Just kind of that feeling, but having the conversation and being okay with that was the reality, right? That's the reality that we're going through challenges like you were talking about, Sierra, and but having the conversation not only gives a way for the solution to be said, but also helps just bring us together, because we're going through a lot of the similar things, right? I remember at Young Adult Rock, right, just having those types of conversations brought people together, and we're like, oh, even the same thing. Like it's a real thing. So I think just having conversations and talking about things is really awesome. In order to get to those big problems that we're all going through. I think Isaac was talking to me recently about the anxiety that people kind of go through, especially with young adults. But I mean, if there's anything you want to add, Isaac, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Now that you think of it, I do talk a lot about that kind of stuff in my songs, huh? I'm just venting in my songs about without that. No, but it is definitely the reason I do that is because if the listener is in that particular space or in that situation, I'm rapping about how I overcame that and how that's the contrast of what you can experience when you have God first in your life. I think there's that in each one of those songs. So along the lines of things that are going on in the world and how our music can make a difference, that's really such a big thing. And anxieties is a big thing that people are going through in the world. And it's, like you said, a gray area, and it's such a good thing to talk about it, not be afraid to talk about that kind of stuff. It goes a long way for people, for the individuals. And it went a long way for me. Yeah, so that anxieties in people's lives and the social pressures and trying to grow that social confidence, that's a really big topic that
Yes, sir.
people really, it's what we're all trying to do. We're trying to just get more and more confident to be able to expound the scripture, to talk to people about the word. We all have different ways of doing it, but it takes that confidence in ourselves.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like your music helps people have the conversation, either by listening, either when they listen to what you are saying, they can have that conversation within themselves, or just by playing it. It opens the door for them to have a conversation if they're listening to it with somebody, or, it just adds light to, whatever situation they may be in, whether they can identify maybe with you, Isaac, as if they're going through something, they can hear your lyrics and how you overcame, and they can have the courage to do the same. Or if it's just played, it gives them something to talk about. You can say, oh, hey, have you heard Bring It Back? Oh, yeah, I liked about, just opens the door for certain conversations to happen.
Sarah, that
Yes.
sounds very similar to what you guys have been doing on the Lighting the Way Today podcast.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is.
Which
Literally,
is such
like,
a pleasure to be a part of. It's so wonderful. Thank you for inviting us on.
no, absolutely. Like, you guys are really have been doing like an amazing job, just as far as you talking about, the mental health side of things, just having those again, like we were having those conversations. You guys are doing a phenomenal job with that. So just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I know that's been, Hunter's heart and vision, and the support that we've gotten with our leadership is for us to be able to have the conversations that we need to have that can help us get stronger mentally, spiritually, so that way we can know we're not alone, and we can get more resources that we need to help us in those specific areas of life where you might be going through something in your heart, and you just need to know, hey, has somebody else gone through this? How did they get through it? What are some other, what's more information I can learn? That's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a support for people and help them get to the word, because that's where they'll get the most deliverance, as they're able to see God as their sufficiency, like you were talking about. And that's what we're trying to help have happen with this podcast. So definitely, we're glad that you're here to support us with this. We're supporting you with your music. It's a beautiful way, the body of Christ, how we're working together with this.
Yeah.
All right, I want to be mindful of your time. You guys have been so generous with your time, so I want to ask you a couple more questions, because you guys not only are rappers, you guys are also your people. You're men of God. You guys want to do the word, and glorify God with everything that you do. So I have a couple of questions just about kind of you and your relationship with God, and then some of the next steps that you guys have let me know that you're going to be doing. So in Blessed, you were talking about I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, like all of these, great things that God is doing. So I'm curious, is there something special like lately that God has done for you? It doesn't have to be deep. Titus, it could even be like, hey, I graduated. Praise God. Amen.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Sir. I did just graduate, and that was a blessing for sure. It was cool to see like all the people that have been able to support me along the way, and all the feel good, wonderful things. But something that's been really cool recently, like I had mentioned all the way at the beginning of the podcast, was basketball stuff. And through basketball, I've been able to give a lot and serve a lot. Like this past year, like I said, I was helping Ball State's men's basketball program out a lot, and every game day I got the opportunity to pray with the team, or some players that wanted to pray with me. So I was like, absolutely, let's do it every game day, right? So that was just a huge blessing, and knowing that I could make an impact in that area, but also just saying kind of where God wants me in that field, and how I can make an impact on people's lives. Even, I was a head manager this past year, and being able to be a leader amongst the other managers, and also just, grow with my relationship with them, and let them into my life and show them, yeah, I also go to a Bible study. And if you want to come, like, you're more than welcome. Right. So just kind of, that's been a huge blessing, and saying, my college experience be used for me to grow in so many different areas, um, and set me up for success in the next steps, like what me and Isaac will be doing soon as way ambassadors.
Mhm.
So that's kind of been a big thing of just reflecting on that, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think for me, there's so many little things that God does for me every day that I notice, and it is a big part to actively notice those things. But I've had the privilege to work on staff here at the Camp Gunnison location. I've been here going on about almost 3 years, and I've just seen God work in me so much to accomplish just really great things. Even if I don't know how, I don't have the specific knowledge to do it, but I, put my hands to work and I have confidence that God is working in me, and literally every single time it works out and we figure it out and it gets done. And recently there's been a bunch of stuff, but over the years, just constantly, um, been seeing stuff like that. And it was great because in this morning's fellowship, the teacher taught on Joseph and how even with tribulation, he always looked to God. But it went through the records of how he was always looking to God in every situation. And he was given so much responsibility, and God had it to prosper every time. And I can relate to that so much because I do have a lot of responsibility here, and God prospers it. God makes things happen, and it's been so wonderful to see that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Here's kind of an open question. Are there any specific scriptures from the Word, or either time that you're spending in prayer or time that you're spending in the Word, um, that's really resonating with you right now? I know earlier, Titus, you mentioned like your favorite verses like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. I mean, that's probably one of my top 5 in terms of my favorite verses to go to. And you guys have mentioned the more you have the word on in your mind, it gives you the fuel that you need to write. It gives you a barometer for you to be able to see, hey, I haven't been in the word. I can see how it's impacting my life. It's not that great. I don't have the resources I need to write. I don't have the resources that I need to do the things that I'm doing. But I'm just curious, as you're at this point in life, before you go on to the next steps that we're going to talk about in a minute, is there anything that you are seeing in the Word, or in your time in the Word, or your time in prayer, that's resonating with you that you would like to share?
Yeah, the word called always comes to my mind. This past year at our Bible study, that was kind of our theme was, we're called to be here, or hear your call. Um, and that's just been a big theme in my life that I've seen, and going hand in hand with Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, right? Trusting in the Lord always and acknowledging him in everything that we do, and he'll guide our paths. And seeing that continually has just been a huge blessing. And especially going forward, knowing that, okay, I've been called to do the things that I've been doing, and I'm also called to do the things that I'm going to be doing in the future, right? And I've found peace in a lot of the things that's going to be our next steps, right? With Way Ambassador, I've found a lot of peace. The God of peace gave me a lot of peace with doing and making this decision, right? But definitely that word called is always just sticks out to me, and what we're doing, and just having the confidence that we are where we need to be at the right time.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a couple verses that I really like and have been um, fundamental in my spiritual growth is one, Colossians, whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. Kind of along the same lines of what I was talking about with work, and with Joseph as an example in the Bible. And then also 2 Corinthians 9:8, which is, and God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that ye, always having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work. Like, that is just such a thorough verse, above and beyond verse. It says all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. God is just so clear as to what he wants for us. And that's another verse that I really hold near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I was also thinking about how in Matthew we've been reading with my friends, just how Jesus, it shows how Jesus was literally fulfilling the scriptures left and right. Like everything that he did had a purpose to it, and how he even got to be where he was a fulfillment of scripture. And to Isaac's point, right, everything that he did, there was good fruit to it. It was always an abundance of good fruit. So seeing how that applies to us as well, and seeing how we're fulfilling what we need to do, and going hand in hand with Isaac's verses, like, it's just amazing how God always supplies what's needed.
Talk a little bit about some of your next steps. It made me think of, I think it might have been in Bring It Back. There is a line where you talk about, let's get back to the God we love. And something that you guys are doing to give back is you guys are going to embark on a 9-month domestic missionary program that's called Ambassadors of the Way, or it's also shortened to Way Ambassador. I know that this is a relatively new program that our ministry has been doing, and we've done it in multiple countries where people will go out and speak the word to folks in their community and invite them to their Bible fellowship, and they'll run classes on the Bible and really just try to help people with the word wherever that person may be. And it's kind of a whosoever will, you're not trying to necessarily speak to specific targeted people. You're just trying to speak the word, and whoever is willing to hear the call and wants to know more, you're willing to meet them where they're at. So I wanted to hear from you guys a little bit of Way Ambassador from your perspective, and why you both are choosing to go, which I think is just kind of really cool that you both have come to your own individual choices that, hey, this is the next step I need to take with God. So Titus, how about we start with you? How about you tell us a little bit about what Way Ambassador means to you and why you're going?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like it was the right time. I think God really put it on my heart that this could be a potential next step. Actually, one of the first Way ambassadors a couple years ago, she had kind of like pulled me aside and mentioned it, and was like, "You know what? I think you'd be really good at Way ambassador." And I was like, I kind of brushed it off. I was like, I don't know. But as it kind of like brewed in my mind for a little while. It wasn't till the end of my junior year, I kind of thought of it as a possibility, because I was like, oh, well, it might get in the way of, my career with basketball stuff, and, things might not work out. But I had talked to kind of like my coaches, and one of my coaches was talking about how just the next step in basketball, like career stuff, it's all about timing. So I was like, okay, if it's about timing and I'm going to do something for God, God will bless me back and everything will work out just fine. So that kind of gave me a lot more peace about that decision. And I think that's kind of when I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I've had a lot of peace with it.
Yeah.
This is one of the decisions in my life that I was very happy that I had found peace with. But yeah, I just feel like it's right timing. And
Yeah. Talking about the peace, that's the same thing. Same kind of thing I got too. It was like, there's so many different things I could do. What do I do? What is the next thing I should do? And I never really thought about Way Ambassador specifically, but when I did, in my mind, it was just like this instant feeling of peace. And I know it's God working in my mind to understand that was definitely the next step, the next thing to do. Because just like the song Grow, we always want to be striving to grow. So we want to see what the next thing for God is. And so that's really what it is for me. It's going Way Ambassador to spread the word that we know and because we do know a lot of word, whether we realize it or not, like you said. Yeah, and the growth that we'll experience personally is going to be tremendous. So, and it's just trusting in God. That's what's going to bring that growth and that peace, and that's what I'm really seeing. So that's how I came to the decision of going way ambassador.
It's almost
And
as if we've written a little bit about way ambassador and how we're potentially called to do that. Isaac, that sounds awesome. In the future that people might be able to hear.
Well, even in blessed, I in my verse I say, take a leap and then see what's next. I mean, it's not like going way ambassador is it's a big responsibility. So taking a leap is kind of a figure of speech, but it's trusting in God.
so I know you guys were talking about the peace that you felt, but what are you guys excited about when it comes to going way ambassador?
For me, I just love change and like trying new things, and this is definitely going to be a big change. We're out there trusting in God. We got to get new jobs, maybe different jobs than we've had before. We're speaking the word every day. We're in the word every day. It's just going to be a big change to a higher level, trusting in God more. And I'm really excited about just that, the whole aspect of the venture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, seeing what God has in store, like we don't know where we're going at this time and that we're recording this. We don't know where we're going to be going, but just whatever God has in store. And like Isaac was talking about, the growth for ourselves, but also being able to help others and reach out to so many different people. And yeah, for me individually, growing, like just trying to become a better leader, just in general, like spiritually and just in my life, right? Taking this as an opportunity to do that, and find new ways to grow, find new ways to trust in God more and develop that relationship, especially. But I'm excited to do it with the team as well. I think that's going to be a really cool aspect, having that family and that support.
Is there anything that you guys are doing to prepare now before you go away ambassador? Anything physically or mentally or spiritually?
Definitely, yeah. Physically, I have a lot of things that I need to get rid of, to downsize. And so physically, I've been doing that a lot of projects to complete, to get them out of the way and to really just consolidate down, to be able to move and to just walk lightly, just have less things. So physically, yeah. And then spiritually, just reading the word more, especially praying more, speaking tongues more. That's one thing I'm really trying to be conscious of, just remembering to speak in tongues every day. There's never a bad time to speak in tongues. So that spiritually, and then just slowly more and more responsibility with in fellowship has been really big. So stuff like that.
No, yeah, Isaac hit it all. Definitely. I've also been able to talk to some former Ray ambassadors that either just got done or was done last year. So kind of just like picking their brains about, what are some challenges, just seeing how their experience was and how they did the things that they did, and kind of not only just like understanding, but also getting inspired and setting a vision for myself and mentally preparing, I'd say. But yeah, Isaac, everything that Isaac said, it's perfect. Absolutely.
Right.
I love
There
it.
you go, Isaac.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
it's definitely been awesome being with the two of you and talking, learning more from you, learning more about how you come up with the music that you come up with, learning about your hopes and dreams for the future, and being with you as you get ready to embark on a new season of life, which is going to be filled with blessings and potentially more circumstances for you to go through things, or as I call it, grow through things with God. And It's going to be great to see what happens with you and your music as the days, weeks, and months come. And so if I were to go to the search engine, like, what do I put in? Do I put in Eli and Suave T? Do I put in Titus Witt? What do I put in?
Yeah. Eli and Suave T.
Eli and Suave T. And it's Eli ampersand, right? Suave T.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, Isaac, Titus, it's been a pleasure being with you on today's episode of Lighting the Way Today. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
That was a fantastic episode, Sierra.
Thanks, Hunter. I really appreciate that. And I also want to give a big thank you to Isaac Parker and to Titus Witt for coming on the episode. Thank you guys so much for sharing your life. Thanks for sharing your music. Thanks for sharing the word. And thanks for letting us know about what you're going to be doing next as Way Ambassadors.
Yeah, their lives were definitely an example, and it was such a joy to hear them be so supportive of each other. These two young Christian men who have a passion for God, and that they use their talents and abilities to express that passion for God, incorporating so much of the word into their rap, into their music, and to the very souls of what they're trying to do. I think is just so fantastic and quite an inspiration. Being a producer of this podcast, sitting in the room while we record these episodes, but also then listening to it again as just a generalized listener, again, was such an inspiring thing. And to hear them take that passion that they have for God to also then go and apply it as part of our ministry's outreach program, to go and speak for God, not just in music, but person to person, I think is such a cool thing. And that was really exciting to hear.
Yeah, I agree. I just love seeing more and more young people who are on fire for God and are willing to express that in whatever ways that they have capabilities to do it. You know, Titus and Isaac can rap, and they're choosing to do that for God, and they both can speak the word. I mean, we all can. We're commissioned to, we're told to in the word, and they're choosing to do that in a really big way. So it's cool what we all get to be a part of.
And if you want to know more about the outreach program that our ministry offers, there'll be a link for that in the description below for the Ambassador of the Way outreach program, as well as links to other things that we have as well, including music that our ministry also produces. So if you want to hear more Christian music, you'll find links to those things as well.
Love it.
Well, I think that'll about do it for this week's episode. I think it's about time we get a little sneak peek of what's to come. All right, Chris, take it away, brother.
God's word shine in our life. He lights the path. What a show. That was God's word in conversation, nothing but the truth. A podcast backed up by biblical proof. And the show keeps rolling, can't miss the next edition. What's happening next? Turn it up and take a listen.
Another good one is, I find it funny, is the story of Jesus Christ when like our first introduction to him is when he gets left behind in Jerusalem with the doctors there, the theologians. Yeah, it's funny because of all the places when you lose your child, you're not expecting them to be hanging out with these theologians asking Bible questions and all that. And she goes back, Mary, to find Christ, to find Jesus, because first of all, she's concerned because she may have lost the Messiah, which for her is probably terrifying. Looking back, I mean, you can laugh, but yeah, and then the icing on the cake is the first thing when you find your kid who you've been looking for all this time, and they hit you with a great one-liner like, "Don't you know I should be about my Father's business?" Yeah, isn't that I think that's hilarious. After of all the things a 12-year-old could be up to in Jerusalem, he chose to hang out with these old people talking about the Bible. It's hilarious.
Thanks for listening to Lighting the Way today. Join us next time as we discuss biblical topics letting the Word of God light our way in life.